So let's talk about that cliffhanger at the end of the season. Okay, fans have seen your relationship, Carly and Freddie's relationship, grow for years. What do you think is the difference about now, where they are in this point of their lives now, that might make this relationship work?
I think they have enough experience now in life that a lot of things have changed. Like originally on the original series, it was more like the Freddie character had like a puppy love like for Carly, and then as the show went on, I feel like they did touch on Carly kind of liking Freddie, especially in the finale episode, like when I kiss your character goodbye. But
yeah,
I think they're just better suited for each other now that some time has passed. Like if I had to choose for it to work out then or work out now, I feel like it makes more sense now.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely tell that the relationship has an extra decade under its belt, you know? And I think to Miranda's point, so much of that life experience is also dating experience, or in Freddie's case, double marriage experience that didn't work out. So I think it's just, a lot of people would probably say, you know, if it hasn't worked out at this point and this person is right here in front of you, maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. Where do you both want to see their relationship grow? Like, do you want them to end up together, or who knows?
I think it's very clear that they like genuinely love each other. You know, they've been through so much together, and I think that they would be a totally viable relationship. I don't know. For me personally, I just feel like if it's going to happen, it has to be in a different way, where the only time you've ever really seen it's been in this very young kind of, like Miranda said, puppy love sort of state. And it's always been Freddie toward Carly. So I feel like in order to sort of revamp and revisit a realistic way for that to go down, we probably have to see a little bit more of a change from Carly. That would be my thought. You know, because otherwise it's just Freddie chasing after Carly all the time.
Yeah.
What's the fun in that?
There's no fun in that.
I'm kind of a romantic, and I love rom-coms, so I always want like the people that like never made it happen when they were young to like end up together later on. So I guess I like the idea personally of them ending up together, just because that's where my heart's always at when I'm watching like romantic movies.
She's gonna have to do some curls to be ready to like literally sweep me off my feet.
I know she has to put in work for you.
Because I am dense. So it's going to take a little bit to rom-com Freddie.
But she did good in the final episode with the birthday.
That's true. She killed it. She probably killed it a little too hard. Yeah.
Well, you're both producers in this new series, and you've directed several episodes, Nathan. How has it been for both of you having more creative control this time around?
It's been awesome. It's been a totally different experience than the original show because, you know, I started iCarly when I was 13. We both were. And I was really just trying to learn the lines and do the best job I could do. And now, you know, that we're adults, we're getting to do all this stuff behind the scenes, and with Nathan directing a lot of the episodes. And then I get to help edit a lot of them and go and be in the writer's room and everything. It's a whole different experience. And I feel like I've learned a lot of new stuff that I never really thought I was going to get to learn. Like when I was asked to do the revival, I didn't think of all this like cool stuff we were going to get to be a part of.
Yeah, I think selfishly, you know, for now and for the future, it's just been a great growth opportunity and a team building exercise for us, because Jerry's producing as well. So we're having a lot of conversations between the three of us of just figuring out, you know, we try to keep our ear to the ground of what the fans want and what would resonate with them. And so we're able to really closely collaborate between the three of us, but then also between the creative team, you know, the writer side and the rest of the executive producers and even, you know, the executives at Nickelodeon and beyond, because they know that we value the fans and we really want to try to do something that they're going to love, and specifically that's not going to, you know, ruin their childhood. So that was objective number one for the show. Yep, that's what people love to say on the internet. So if we could just avoid that, that would be just a massive mission accomplished.
Have any of your real life experiences kind of helped influence something that happened in the show?
I've had a lot of like funny bad date stories, and I feel like Carly is always going on bad dates, and it's not just that the dates are bad, it's just that like very weird things happen. And it usually seems like it's starting off like really, really great, and like everything's gonna be like she's gonna live happily ever after. Like when she first meets the guys, it always seems like they're so normal, and then something crazy happens. Like even in the pilot episode with the, what is that, like milk soup?
The whey.
Yeah, the whey.
Yeah.
The guy who likes to gargle away.
Yeah, you really know how to pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carly and me.
I can't believe that happened in real life. What?
Well, I just feel like I've been on a lot of like random dates where just like funny things have happened. Like a long time ago, I went on a date and a guy like leaned in to kiss me, and I thought it was when I was like 17, and I thought it was going to be like this, like the big like cinematic moment where he like leaned in and he kissed me, and he like bit my lip and it started bleeding. And I had to hold like tissue paper up to my lip, and he kept saying sorry. Like, just, it's not like that the people are bad. It's just that weird things always happen to me.
Well, to be fair, that's when Twilight was very popular. So he probably was trying to do the Pattinson thing.
Yeah.
Like,
vampire.
Let's hope that's what he was going for, because there's no way teeth would be getting involved.
It's the only explanation.
Yeah. Okay, so I also have to ask, you reunited with Josh in this season. How was it working with him again, and how did that whole thing come to be? Was he on board right away, or did you have to kind of like convince him a little bit?
Well, I'm friends with him, and his wife is awesome, Paige, and he actually messaged me when he heard we got a second season, and he said he'd be up for doing an episode or two. And then when the writers came up with the idea for him to be Carly's manager, everything just kind of fell into place. And then Nathan actually directed the
yeah, that was a blast. And it was very, initially at least, it was very intimidating for me because I grew up watching him all throughout my childhood. So it felt insane that I was going to be in charge of this episode that he was in, and having that kind of a relationship, because I felt very unworthy to be able to do that to a guy that I looked up to so much. But he's so approachable and nice and kind and collaborative in the way that he works. It just felt like we were all three of us, we had kind of that storyline together. So we were able to just play around and find stuff. Josh pitched some really funny little bits and gags and lines that we were able to use in the episode. So it was kind of an old home week, just getting the chance to play and do it as adults, kind of come back around in a very different environment, and be in a place where the people who were helping to make the show kind of respected that relationship and that history, and gave us a chance to do it. And it's just so easy with a guy like Josh, because he's just so effortlessly talented, and he just knows what he's doing. So it was fantastic. It was one of my favorite episodes for sure.
I mean, it was great to see it, but I'm also curious, like, there was an episode 9 was about pranks, and we know that your character Miranda and Drake and Josh was big into pranks. Have you guys done any behind the scenes pranks on set? Did anybody prank Josh while he was on set?
No, we didn't prank Josh. I feel like if anyone was going to do some pranking, it'd probably be Jerry.
Yeah.
Like on the show, he loves pranking, his character does, but in real life too, I feel like he'd be like the most likely. Yeah,
I do love scaring Jaden. I will tend to hang out behind a door, go out before her, and then wait for her to open it. So yeah, because she's young and impressionable, and so if I tried to do that with her, she would just be like, hey, she's seen too much. She's a grizzled veteran. So yeah, it's nice to prey on the young,
Well, you guys do obviously, like, there's a different ages in this cast. Like, what are some things that you do to make her feel really like at home and comfortable? Because obviously you guys were child actors, so you've seen it, you've done it. So what are some things that you guys do to kind of have fun with her, but also make her feel really comfortable?
I think the big thing is just to, like, aside from remembering she is very young, I think a lot of that we treat her like a professional that she is. She's so wise above her years and is so beyond capable of holding her own in a scene with people who are, like in Jerry's case, 9 times older than her. So
Jerry wouldn't appreciate it.
No, he wouldn't. And I'm just waiting to see, this is my test to see if he watches this. Yeah. An angry message at 2:00 in the morning.
9 times.
I just finished my nutritional shake. I'm not 9 times older than Jaden. So yeah, I think really the key for her is just like working and collaborating almost as if she was an adult. You know, Miranda's just got to control her potty mouth. That's the big thing, because she just I'm just
stop.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
But I think the main thing for me is, well, like Lacey and I, we like to hang out with Jaden, and like sometimes we'll have lunch on set, and we'll like Postmate something like fun, and we'll all like hang out and eat together. And I think for me, when I was little, and even on iCarly or acting, it's like so much of it is like sitting around and waiting like to go in and work. So if you can make it like fun with the people you're working with, and there aren't any other kids on the show, so sometimes I feel bad for Jaden that she doesn't have, like, we do have kids in the episodes, but not like any other regulars.
The problem is she just wants to TikTok, and we're very bad at TikToking. No TikTok skills whatsoever. So she'll, you know, that's her way of killing time between takes. Be like, want to make a TikTok? Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll do my best, Jaden. I'm gonna try my best, and I do. I always try my best.
That's all you can hope for.
It's also just really bad, no matter what.
Well, you mentioned TikTok, and for some people that are so bad at TikTok, Miranda, you keep going viral. I have to ask, is the F word still your favorite curse word, or are you over it after it went viral?
Still my favorite curse word. I really don't say it that much, but when the time is right, it does fit certain situations.
She has like a little box that she keeps with her in her purse, and it's a recording of her saying it. And when the time is right, she pulls it out, and there's a bow on it. She pulls the strings very gently, and then like dusts it off, and then just points it out like this, and then opens it up, and it's like, and then everyone's like, that was the right time to say that. Wow.
That's exactly what happened.
That's how
exactly
it works.
What happens. So humble. It's exactly what happens. Do you think people now, whenever you say that word, they're like, oh, she said it again, or because it's just went so viral that it's like, oh my God, she did it.
I really barely ever say it, but it's funny because I wanted to be cool, because I was meeting Whitney Cummings for the first time, who I'm now friends with. But when I did the podcast with her, it was the first time I'd ever met her. And
it was?
I was like, I have to be a little edgy. Like I have to like, oh, I'm like being interviewed by Whitney Cummings, and she's asking me the edgiest thing I do. Like I gotta come.
It's just that so explains it to me though, because of the way that you said it.
I'm like nervous.
Would it be like nervous, but also sad about it?
I love it. And also Megan went viral, her meme. You just keep going viral without trying. Like, is that the trick? It's just like not try. And then I
guess so. I feel like the internet continues to humble me on a daily. It's 100 the internet, 0 me.
I know, girl. You're still winning to me. You're still winning in my eyes. Okay, well, I also want to ask about your relationship just as friends. I mean, you've known each other for a decade, if not more. How has your relationship and your friendship evolved throughout the years?
Jeez.
I mean, I ask him sometimes for like dating advice now, because like he's married, has 2 kids, and he has a successful relationship, so he's a good person.
Unlike Freddie.
Right. Freddie's had more trouble. Yeah. I would say like, and it's funny because I grew up watching Drake and Josh. So the first time that I met Miranda, I was totally fanboying out and just thrilled to be there. And like, I remember one of my first thing at rehearsal, that was back when you guys were bougie and you were ordering out lunch all the time. And you were like, oh my gosh, you have to try this lobster ravioli that they do next door. That's so good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have lobster ravioli with Miranda Cosgrove at Drake and Josh. This is the best day of my life. So I went from that. And then I also, one of the most cringe things, I don't know if I've brought this up to you since 2006 when this happened.
What is it?
My best friend, I just wanted to brag about the fact that I was there on set, and I did the ultimate fanboy faux pas. I was on the phone with him, and I literally just shoved a phone in your face and said, "Can you say hi to my friend?"
I don't remember that at all.
Because it probably happened to you enough times that you were just like, yeah, whatever. Hey, what's up? And then he goes,
"You make me seem so cool." I was like 9. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, yo, what up? No. But she was so cool about it. She knew exactly what to do. But then my friend, I can hear him over the phone going, "You're so hot." And I was like, "No, bro, why would you do the one thing that you're not supposed to do?" I was mortified by it. I was like,
up lobster ravioli
Mhm.
after.
yeah, lobster ravioli and embarrassing myself. So that's how it started.
Okay.
And then now we're making a TV show together. And I would say it very quickly evolved just over the course of iCarly into a essentially brother-sister relationship. That's what happens when you're spending all of your hours and spare time together.
Somebody.
You know? So, but it's been fun on the adult side because now we still get to do that, except now I get to give her dating advice, which is fun.
I know. What's the best dating advice he's given you?
Dump him.
Yeah, I concur. So, yeah, but it usually starts out with a it's the bridge of the nose thing first.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Oh, dump him. That's usually what it is.
Okay, I mean, I feel like that's pretty solid advice, though, especially if the guy is not.
I would say for
hard.
99% of situations, the answer is almost always dump him. Guys have a long way to go before they deserve to be in a committed relationship, especially with her. She deserves it.
Well, I'm glad you have him looking out for you and just keeping it real.
Always.
To have in your corner.
Nathan, I also want to talk about your kids. So your youngest daughter just turned 1. How exciting. What are her new milestones?
Oh boy, she's talking quite a bit. And that's the funny thing, she's doing everything faster than our first one because she's now watching the first one do all that stuff. So she walked like 6 months before, and she was talking so much faster. She finally, she was walking, and she has been for months, but she could never actually stand up on her own. So she'd have to go crawl over to something, climb up it like a ladder, and then start walking. And yesterday was the first time that I saw her just be out in the middle of the grass, totally on her own, and prop her little pudgy sausage body up and start toddling around. So that was the big one. And she's also really into scribbling with chalk on the sidewalk. So she's getting her little artist on now.
Professional.
That's so precious. And is she getting along really well with her big sister?
She is. They love each other. However, older sister needs her space sometimes. And younger sister loves her so much that she just wants to be doing whatever it is that she's doing and investigating it. But we also just got a puppy yesterday. So now there's that whole element, and they have something to kind of bond over there too. So we're crazy people. I don't know why every time we told people we're getting a brand new puppy and we have a 14-month-old at home, they go, "Why? Why would you do that to yourself?" But you know, that's the beauty of an actor. You get your downtime before your next season, and then you have time for potty training. So it's perfect. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and it's going to be cute when they grow up. The dog and the girls are going to be so close. It'll be
Exactly, for sure. It's a tough learning curve in the first couple of months, but so worth it in the long run.
Yeah, and last question, I'm curious, have any experiences that you've had with your daughters kind of helped you write something in the show that's happened with your daughter on the show?
Well, Millicent is quite a bit older than my oldest, so we're having conversations that we haven't quite had. However, there are certain things that Freddie said that I am convinced they lifted straight from my Twitter. Like there was a line at the beginning of the first season where you guys were talking about the ick.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about whatever gives you that yucky feeling about the person that you're with. And Freddie's answer was, or like fiscal irresponsibility. And I went back to my Twitter and I literally have a tweet that said, "How do you spell sexy? FISCALRESPONSIVLITY." So technically they made it the opposite, but the fact that they pulled the direct correlation between ick and fiscal irresponsibility versus my sexy and fiscal responsibility, I feel my dadness leaking out on a constant basis.